Hey guys, Wetzel here. Today I want to show you how to create a free Azure tenant that allows you to begin labbing for the AZ-104. What most people get wrong isn't the setup of Azure itself, it's more so the surprise expenses and knowing what to lab for the AZ-104. So I'll make sure that both are covered in this video. Now the first thing you need for this is a Microsoft account. If you want to create one for this purpose, that's also good, but any Microsoft account should work. With this account, you're going to navigate to portal.azure.com. Once you get to this page, you're going to see your email and default directory in the top right. Under where it says Start with an Azure free trial, click Start. On the next page, you'll see two different options, and we'll go ahead and continue with Try Azure for free. As you continue on, the next few pages will have you fill in your name and phone number. Additionally, you will have to put a credit card on file because this type of free account will turn into a pay-as-you-go account after 30 days. This means that any resources you set up after this point will be billed to the credit card that's on file. I think it's also worth mentioning that the trial is very limited, meaning that you can only purchase resources of certain types and configurations. For example, when you go to purchase a VM, on the trial you may only be able to purchase one or two different sizes for the VM. Meanwhile, on a pay-as-you-go account, you're able to purchase a selection of hundreds of different sizes. And now we officially have an Azure tenant under the free plan. At this moment, you aren't paying for any resources, but when the 30 days are up, you're on the hook. I've personally wasted hundreds of dollars, and so have countless others, because they were getting charged for things that they didn't even know costed anything. So if there's one thing you do before clicking off, it's at least to get a budget set up with text message and email alerting. To get these alerts set up, we'll start by searching for subscriptions at the top. Click into it, and then you'll see your subscription name in blue text. Click into that, navigate to Settings, and then click Resource Providers. In the search bar that says Filter by Name, you'll type in Microsoft.insights. For some reason, this option doesn't come up when you scroll through the list, so you have to search for it in order for it to appear. Click the bubble next to it, and then click Register at the top. By completing these steps, we're actually enabling Azure Monitor to work, which is used to create the alerts we see later. While we wait for Microsoft.insights to register, we have to create what's known as an action group. We'll start by going into Monitor, which is found on the left-hand side. In Monitor, we'll go to Alerts, and then Action Groups at the top. On the Action Groups page, click Create. In the basics, you have to specify a subscription and a resource group. If you don't have any resource groups yet, go ahead and create one. In this example, I created a resource group for anything related to the budget, so I named it RG-budget. From there, I made the action group name and the display name so that it would relate to texting me about the budget. Once you're finished with the basics section, click Next. For a notification type, it's important to click Email, SMS message, Push, Voice. A card will open up to the right that allows you to input a phone number to get text messages. If you'd like, you can also enable the other options, but I think texting is good enough. Be sure to name the notification, then we can move on to Review and Create. You can skip through the Actions and Tags sections because nothing is really needed there. And now we have our action group, which specifies who gets alerted when an alert happens. Now that we have the action group, we need to create the budget criteria and apply the alert to it. We can do this by using the search bar to find subscriptions once more. Click into your subscription, and then navigate to Cost Management, and then click Budget. Although Cost Management and Billing already exist on the left side of the portal, it's important that you do this through the subscription menu. Otherwise, you won't be able to set up text message alerts. Once you click the Add button, you can customize the budget to your liking. You can give it a name and set how often you want the budget to reset. At the bottom, you'll set how much the budget is. In this example, I chose $50 and I chose it to repeat monthly. After clicking Next, you'll set your conditions on when to be alerted. You'll also be setting your action group, which should be the one you created before. In this example, I've set it to where I'll be alerted once my monthly spend officially reaches $50. In Azure's logic, this would be, text me about the budget once my actual monthly cost reaches 100% of $50. It's also required for you to provide an email for the alert, in which I just gave it my own. Once you click Create, you've officially set up text alerts and have already put yourself in a strong position to start labbing. But here's the problem. There's hundreds of services in Azure, so how do you know which ones to lab, and how do you know if it's actually helping you prepare for the exam? That's what trips everyone up. A common resource are the MS Learn labs, but they're surface level and not up to date. This exact problem is why I use this Azure Lab extension. It works by deploying real AZ-104 labs into your own Azure subscription. It walks you through each task, and it's able to verify that you did them correctly. And when you're finished with a lab, there's a button to remove all resources that were created. And in case you don't delete the resources, the extension will remind you later. There's nearly 30 labs that correspond with my video course, and about 10 more labs for extra practice. Most labs will work with the free tenant created from this video. You can currently get the extension on the Chrome Web Store by searching for Wetzel Wisdom Azure Labs. As of right now, I'm working on getting approved for other browsers such as Edge, Firefox, and Opera. Any feedback is appreciated, as I'm looking to create the best possible resources for the AZ-104. So that's the full setup. Free tenant, spending alerts that hit your phone, and a way to lab with guardrails instead of guesswork. WetzelWisdom.com for more practice material. Peace.